Very recently, I was talking to a 16-year-old boy who had just finished secondary school. And I was talking to him about the importance of making the right financial decisions even from that young age. And I asked him what are the things that he has done and what are the things he's trying to put in place to ensure that he's financially stable when he is done with school. I mean, tertiary institution. And one of the things he said to me was that once or twice he makes money from sports betting and that he bets correctly and he makes money from it. And that's one of the things that he has been doing. To say the least, I was shocked. And I asked him, how often do you do this? He said, not so often, but once in a while he does it. I met this guy in church. His parents are church people, right? And, of course, I just did my bit to talk to him about it. But it brought my attention very graphically to this menace in our society that is flying over everybody's head and nobody seems to do anything about it. Sports betting. You even have any idea how many teenagers in Nigeria are secretly betting on football games right now? And it's quite ironic that the bookmakers say you have to be over 18 to bet and you should bet responsibly, whereas a lot of people are under 18 and still bet. And I dare say don't do so responsibly. And even people that are over 18 engage in sports betting and don't do it responsibly. They get addicted to it and then it absolutely ruins their life. Gambling, or more specifically, sports betting, as it has become such a popular thing in Nigeria today, is a menace. And not many people are talking about it. Everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Goodness Eze. I'm a multimedia creative, and this is my YouTube channel where I share my opinions about things, about love, about life, and everything that my heart beats for, everything in between. I like to say that. And if you're new, please subscribe to this channel. Help us to grow this channel. We want to get to 1,000 subscribers as quickly as we can and reach as many people as we can with the content we make. And please also like the video and share it to your friends who you want to, hear a thing or two that I'm going to be sharing on this video. First of all, before we talk about this menace that is called sports betting, let's look a little bit at the historical perspective. Now, sports betting was introduced to Nigeria basically as a result of the colonial influence, right? So between the years 1900 to 1960 pre-independence, horse racing was introduced by the British in Lagos and Kaduna. And then we had something like a football pool, which is sort of like a sports betting on football that, became popular in urban parts of Nigeria in the early 20th century. But after independence in 1960, there was a massive spread of betting on sports games across the country. Local shops started to open and, place bets on local and international games. And it was common amongst cities, and most importantly, at the time, it was unregulated. Now, as Nigeria's economy opened up a little bit more in the 1990s, a lot more organized sports betting outfits were created. And then the formal regulation of betting and gambling, generally was created. That was after the establishment of the Lagos State Lotteries Board in 2004. And of course, since the 2010s up till now, due to the rise of smartphones, internet, and mobile money, sports betting has been absolutely transformed in Nigeria, and it has become the order of the day. And it carries forms that makes it easy for people to participate. There are so many things to bet on. You can bet on games of football games, on games of other sports. You can play some virtual betting, jackpots, etc. It makes it a lot more engaging than it used to be in times past. And youth unemployment and economic struggles also made it, a lot more lucrative or seemingly lucrative to many young people, lack of jobs, and then they just found their way into a betting shop and start doing it and, get addicted to it and then on like that. Today, there are scores of betting sites. Now, there are a few popular ones that almost all bettors use, right? But there are tons of them, right? And perhaps this may get a little bit personal, but one of the things that absolutely infuriates me about this menace called sports betting, and especially the sites that do these things, is their aggressive advertising. The aggressive way they advertise and put this content in literally everybody's face. Now, you can't, I am a lover of football. I love football. I watch football, on the satellite TV. I watch football content, football analysis, even on YouTube here. But you cannot watch any proper football content, without having either advertisement from the content creator, right, from a betting company, or advertisement from YouTube, right? I mean, it is everywhere. You have them everywhere. And you have many betting sites now have even created their own maybe YouTube channel and are having podcasts on it. And my issue is that advertisement is not just advertisement. They are selling an ideology to people that suggests subtly that it is all right to engage in these things, and even to underage. As much as some people might claim that betting is being regulated, it is not really being regulated, because I'm sure you know of many, many young people that are below the age of 18 that bet. And I'm sure you know at least one or two persons that is either 18 or even above 18, that betting addiction has almost destroyed their life. Like I said, the ads are everywhere. Teenagers are participating in it. The society has been eaten slowly and destructively by this menace called sports betting. And someone might say, hey, it's just for fun. We're just having fun. It's never just fun. It's very easy to get addicted to it. And when you get addicted to it, it eats deep into pretty much everything. It changes the way you view money. The concept of money, concept of value, the concept of work, the concept of responsibility is tainted just by that one thing that some people claim is just fun. And to talk about the dangers of betting and gambling, basically, you cannot but start with the fact that betting ruins people financially. It's basically like the more you play, the more you get ruined. And a gambling addiction is so crazy to the extent that when you start it and you get addicted to it, you know it is destroying you, but you just can't stop. There is this dopamine hit that you just get when you go to gamble, whether you win or you lose. It has become such a natural response to people who watch sport, or people in general. I know people who don't even watch sport but still bet on it. And I find it difficult to understand. Young people gamble their school fees. People gamble their house rent, gamble their savings, gamble money that doesn't even belong to them. And they lose the money, and it ruins their life. It ruins their reputation. It ruins their understanding of responsibility. Gambling creates a distorted view of the concept of work and value. It makes you begin to think that you can skip the process of hard work and just find some quick wins. You just get some money, and then you can just put it into this, and then hopefully if this one goes the way it goes, and then you just multiply the money, and then everybody is happy. And the truth is that the first time you do it, it might work. And then that is what will make you go and do it the next time. It might even work the next time, and then you go and do it again and again and again and again until you get addicted, until it begins to slowly eat into every part of your being. It makes you have a tainted understanding, like I said, of money. It makes you not understand the dignity of labor. It makes you feel like everybody else who works hard to get some money that may not even get up to the money that you get from just betting correctly on a particular game. It makes you start to feel like they're foolish, whereas they are the one who is wise. And let's not even talk about the emotional toll that it takes on people. The anxiety you get, the depression when you lose, the hopelessness when you lose, right? You see people clutching onto their tickets and say, oh yeah, this one has to be. Is it worth it? Is it really worth it? You see people stealing money, taking people's money, lying about it, right? Just to fund their betting habits. Like I said, betting is absolute. You see, betting and responsibility are two parallel lines. They would never touch. The moment you get involved in betting, your understanding of the concept of responsibility is gone. Like, it's literally gone. Especially the moment you get addicted to it. And if you just started it and you think it's something you can just dabble into and get out. Today you do it, and then maybe till next month or in the next couple of months before you do it. Like I said, it's only a matter of time before you start to think that that is more lucrative than every other thing that you do. And then you start to focus more energy on it. And then little by little, it starts to do to you what it has done to others. Some time ago, I was talking to someone I knew in my school. It was about to be the new season of the Premier League. And I asked him, I'm like, how he's a Chelsea fan. For non-football fans, Chelsea is one of the popular football teams. And I was asking him, like, hey, what do you think about the new season? And he was like, he doesn't care about what Chelsea is going to do. He just wants to know that he has started arranging how he was going to bet for this season. And I'm like, because I know him, I'm like, I know that last season you lost a lot of games. You lost a lot of money to this betting, and you are still going to do it again this season. He was like, he doesn't have a choice. That is he doesn't have a choice. He believes he's so addicted to it. He feels he literally does not have a choice. Even though he knows he's going to lose money, he's still going to do it. That is what he does. And people fall into betting, because of peer pressure. Like I said at the start, because of the deplorable economic situation, poverty and desperation. People just see it as a quick escape out of poverty. And like I mentioned earlier, also the influence of all these flashy adverts that we see. And I'm particular about the younger generation, teenagers that have started to engage in this. Some of them that have even become addicted to it. It pains me to the bone. How that these young people, this is the time in their life that they should be getting a proper understanding of how to make money the right way, of responsibility, and then this is what they're using their time to do. And it feels like the society is cool with it. It's sad. And something has to be done. And what could be done? First of all, for individuals, if you are addicted to gambling, you first of all need to acknowledge their addiction. And then, I know I've mentioned this a couple of times on this channel, get accountability. Find yourself someone who loves you and who has sense, who can help you to ensure that you are accountable, right? It could be a community of believers. It could be a pastor. It could be a mentor. It should be someone, though, that understands the danger of this thing, someone who loves you and someone who is ready to help you to get out of it. Listen, maybe I would make a different separate video on this, because this is another topic of its own, getting out of habits. It's a lot on its own. But these are just some quick ways that you can get yourself on that journey. Find yourself accountability. That is so important. That is so important, because by yourself, you would not be able to stop yourself from going back to it, right? Acknowledge that it is bad, but then get yourself accountability to ensure that someone is able to stop you from going back to it when you have the urge to go back to it. And another thing is to help yourself block access to these betting sites. There are so many of them now, so many of them. As many of them that you use, and even the ones that you don't use so often or you don't even use at all, block access to it, either through your browser or, just find a way to block access to it. Another thing that would help, replace that habits with healthier habits. You need to find the triggers. What are the things that, makes you want to go and bet? Maybe when you see a football game, when you see the advertisement, right? You may need to stay away from that for a while. I know we all love football, but you may need to stay away from that for a while, right? You may need to stay away from the social media for a while and devote yourself to the right content. Help yourself walk in the spirit. If you're a believer, if you're a Christian, walk in the spirit, right? That time you used to, calculate and scrutinize games and check which one you can bet on and all of that. Devote that time to something healthier that would help you to grow as a person. And for society, for the government, listen, guys, there needs to be a better and more stronger regulation on betting policies, especially on platforms like YouTube, and with football sponsorships. I realize that many football clubs have betting partners as their shirt sponsors or as their club sponsors. What are we trying to say? What are we trying to tell the young people who watch football? Are we saying football is now only for 18 plus? What are we trying to tell? What message are we trying to pass across? There needs to be a stricter enforcement on age restrictions. There's no reason why a teenager should be, in fact, there's no reason why anybody should be engaging in gambling, right? But even more so a teenager. There's no reason why that should be happening. And yeah, for NGOs and even for individuals that this may concern, there needs to be awareness campaigns in schools and in churches about the dangers of this thing, right? About how this literally destroys life. People need to be aware of what it does to them or what it will do to them if they get involved in it, and then of course eventually get addicted to it. And even if you've won from betting before, even if you've won a lot of money from betting before, ask yourself the question, is it something worth building on? There's a reason why the money won from betting usually it finishes on time. You can win 10 million from betting and then it finishes in a month. Why? Because you see, there's something you learn from making money the right way. The wisdom you get from making money the right way is not far off from the wisdom you get in keeping that money you've made and in multiplying the money you've made. Right? There are different wisdom applicable for it, but it's not far off. So if you did not get money the right way, and this is applicable to fraud as well, which is another topic I'm sure we're going to get into in this channel, on this channel. If you don't get money the right way, there's every chance you are not going to keep that money, and there's every chance you're not going to multiply it. Anyways, that's this video. I went on another very emotional one. That's what I'd like to do, just to share topics that gets me, that gets to me. But here, I'd like to hear your comments. What do you think? Is there someone you've known who has struggled with this, and how did the person get out of it? Or what do you think? What do you think should be done to curb this destructive menace that is eating deep into our society? And also, like the video, subscribe to our channel if you're new, and click on the notifications button so that you're notified when there's content. Recovery is possible, very possible. But as a society, we must wake up and ensure that we're not using our own hands to destroy our future. My name is Goodness Eze. See you in the next video. Adios.